What were some of the cartoons you watched growing up? Ninja Turtles, The Simpsons, X-Men, Batman, Tiny Toons? What about the continuing exploits of a couple of smart-ass convenience store clerks who got their start in a low-budget black-and-white indie film? For those who don't know, at the turn of the century, Kevin Smith attempted to resurrect his beloved convenience store slackies, Dante Hicks and Randal Graves. Only 2 episodes aired on ABC before it was promptly canceled, but the next year, all 6 episodes were released on DVD, in a set called Clerks Uncensored. Admittedly, there's not really a lot of material to work with. The film, as funny as it is nothing more than 2 guys tearing apart pop culture and pissing on the customers. So how do you base an animated series off of that? Based on the end result, you essentially make a ton of movie references and steal from a lot of established cartoons. Obviously, the showrunners took liberties. Thankfully, we got back the original actors to do the voices, so it's because of Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson, Jason Mewes, and Kevin Smith that it feels more or less like a continuation of that world. For what they are, the 6 episodes are really entertaining and pretty funny. I always wondered how certain jokes would have made it past the censors. It takes a few risks.
Look how scared he is. He's shaking.
No, he's masturbating.
Although it's got nothing on South Park and Family Guy. The animation is simplistic, but it gels well with the material. It has its own style that's hard to compare to anything else, and that's what makes it unique. As far as the tone of the series, it has a spontaneity to it that kind of reminds me of The Simpsons, but even that doesn't do much to explain it. Each episode takes place, appropriately enough, in Dante and Randal's hometown of Leonardo, New Jersey. The stories are all outlandish, so it makes for some funny moments. Like in the 3rd episode, where Leonardo is quarantined by the government because the city's namesake, Leonardo, got sick on a stale burrito. It sounds stupid, but it makes for a memorable episode.
Yes, I'm gay.
In episode 5, Randal gets the high score in some old arcade game and suddenly gets whisked off to India where he's forced to move boulders in a cave. It's just like Last Starfighter, except instead of saving the galaxy, Randal ends up doing hard labor because that's the object of the game. The episode also parodies Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Bad News Bears. A lot happens in this one, but the humor works really well.
Spread your message of male worthlessness and lesbian liberation all over the globe, friend.
My favorite episode is episode 4. Here, Jay slips on a soda can and sues Dante and Randal. The episode is basically Randal, acting as Dante's defense attorney, making all the wrong moves so that he can get refunded the money he spent on bad movies.
Isn't it true you knew this was a bad movie? That you wrote it over a weekend but kept telling people it was done for years?
The episode highlight is where the judge actually happens to be Judge Reinhold.
It's more laughs than I got in head office.
Who constantly has dreams of fighting crime with Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, did I mention the series is spontaneous? Aside from the skits in between episodes where Jason Mewes spits out profanities to please the fans, there's nothing really edgy about this series.
I'll have you know, Naked Robber was one of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry's favorite party games.
But if you liked Clerks, and especially if you liked Mallrats, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.